many children taken away, a child per minute gone, they say, with parents left with no answers. Kidnapping is what EBS stands for, not knowing what was done to lose your kids, trying to jump through hoops they forbid. You must obey their commands. For this we will not stand. They have no authority to take them away. They steal kids every day, and that's okay. You look to the court to find some relief, but walk away empty-handed, we all see. You did nothing wrong to warrant this. Day after day, your child are when you miss. You try to take a stand to be pushed back down. We need a superhero to come around. Tiff and the Punisher, hear your cries. We never want your family to say goodbye. We are her for the long run. We won't
family is the most important thing we have.
It's about time we stand up for the kids. Tiff and the Punisher, they won't back down. Fight for the children in every town. They are taking our kids every day. I shout them in and no one has a thing to say. For those who have been isolated, don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services, here's your real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeve. You can't do what you're trying to do. We've done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You know the number. We'll steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, goddammit. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up like thin tags. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. So give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows and the only games you play are on Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher warrior anthem. We cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stopping.
Yeah, all right. That's good stuff. That's real good stuff.
Looks like Renee's on. She said, hey guys, Toll and Roill is here.
Yes, they are. They're backstage right now waiting for us. I can see them.
Bring them in.
Get them in the house.
Bring us in.
We got John in the house. There's John.
Can you hear us? Okay?
We can hear you. I don't know where your heads are, but I can hear you.
Well, can you see all of
Yeah,
us?
you're upside down though.
I can see your hand. Oh yeah, you're sideways. Oh
Yeah,
okay.
you're sideways.
Yeah, you guys are sideways.
Can you fix that?
Let me see if I can roll. Let me see if I.
Shut up, Logan.
I can roll you.
If you can't fix it,
Yeah, I
I'll
can't. I cannot roll you, my friend. I'm sorry. I wish I could.
Okay, that's what I was afraid of.
There you go.
All right.
Can you still see us all?
Yeah, we can still see y'all. Not to the side, though, right? Yes, we can see you. Yep.
Still
So we're,
sideways?
no, we're good. We're good. You can see. We can see y'all. A little bit off. If you, yeah, we can see y'all. So what's up, guys? You guys are in DC?
There's the bag. Okay.
Come on over, JD.
Yeah. Oh, that doesn't let us see all of us.
So you're one. You can, if you, yeah, shit. You can't roll it the other way, and it wouldn't be straight. Let me.
I don't know how to fix it. That's the
Oh
problem.
man! Oh man! Oh man! Oh man!
Yeah, but I mean,
Let's see if we can do something about this.
that way again.
Just
Wait,
have
let
him
me-
go
Okay,
sit closer, Darren.
What's that?
He just needs to take the phone closer so that everybody can fit in.
You
Let's see here.
Oh my.
Okay, I'm gonna put it. Red.
I bet you on your camera, if you change that to landscape, change your camera to landscape, it would work. That's John's beautiful. Yeah, big man up there. So, Tiff, they're down in DC right now.
Well, they're actually in Northern Virginia. They're only 45 minutes from me.
Oh, okay. In your neck of the woods.
go already,
Yes, they are.
Man, oh man. Sounds like a hoop.
We lost
Yep.
him.
And they're gone. Yep.
He probably hit the wrong button.
I know. You know, now that they just said that, I want to get a hold of Restream and I want to tell them that they should have that option. That just made me mad. Because why are we widescreen and here? Oh, because of the camera and the phone. That's why. So yeah, we'll get them back. He'll come back. He'll give us a big screen welcome. What is? Let's see here.
There they are.
There's John. There he is again. Back and ready to go. Man, I bet they're having a blast down there. Man, selling the Congress people the plane.
Well, if we ever go there, we're taking Tiff and the Punisher shirts.
Yes, we are. And yes, they have arrived too. By the way, so I won't wear one until you get yours.
Okay. I'm so excited.
I'm not even gonna look at them till you get yours. I'll have my mom put them in a box, your stuff in a box, and send it. So
Okay.
and then we start pushing our merchandise for people. So
Yes.
That's good. It's good stuff. So that's
So you want to pull up the article that you're in with us here?
Oh yeah,
in the local one?
I made the paper and for good things too. Yeah, where do we find this? Where do we find this article?
It's in your messenger.
Get them back. They're
Oh,
all
there
in
they are.
I'm with you though.
We got you all.
All right, we're gonna try and hook up an iPad also.
Hey, look at that. Look at that. Now we can see y'all. There we go. Now, yeah, we're there, right? Is everybody there?
No, we got more, but we're gonna.
Oh, they can see someone. They can see it.
Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Not far enough.
Yeah. Me, John.
Yeah, I can just stand off to the side.
What are you guys having a slumber party?
We are. We're slumber partying.
How long are you guys going to be down there?
Not long enough, evidently.
Because I'm having a rally here and I'm only 45 minutes from you guys. I'm having one on Saturday. I can't hear.
Yeah.
But Rob, you didn't disappear. Oh, but you guys can scoot in.
Yeah, I'll scoot in tight to her.
Okay.
Yeah, punching it right in. There we go. Big John on the house. There he is.
That way everybody feels good.
Are we? But
There we go. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Not there yet. I guess we're in drag time.
So who is everybody with you guys?
Let us get all in screen first, and we'll break it down.
All right.
Rod.
There you go. There you go. Squeezing in. Yep. There you go. Beautiful. Now this is production at its finest.
Okay, we like each other.
So guys, this is Toll and Roill. They're down there in DC.
Matt,
And they're doing some stuff. They're doing a lot of things. I haven't said anything, so I'm not allowed to say things. I don't want to say anything I'm not allowed to say, but if you guys want to go ahead and say it, then knock yourselves out. So what are we doing down there, guys?
Uh-oh.
That's a nice picture, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so glitch between us and you.
No, it's because
Oh, because you guys are because you're watching YouTube. Yeah, you're gonna have a 6-second delay. That way, if you guys say something bad, we can clip it out before it comes onto the air. So,
Gotcha.
if anybody is
So
can catch it.
So from our left to our right, we have Tammy.
Mhm.
Correct, I said that right. Patrick.
Peter.
Peter, my bad.
Peter, Patrick. Yep.
Billy.
Not Bob, it's Billy.
Billy. Yeah, just Billy, not Billy Bob.
Mhm.
We have
Darla.
Darla out of Texas.
Darla, Texas.
Matt, local, out of
Blue.
Virginia in the background.
Oh, make sure you get Tiff's number for the show.
Right. Myself out of Oregon, John Bloom.
Oregon.
And then to my right, Rod Claps out of North Carolina.
All right. So what are we doing, guys? What are we doing in DC?
Hanging out, having a slumber party.
I know, it looks nice. Is that a movie set you guys are on, or is that a real place? Because it looks like it's like from Wayne World or something. You know, like when you come down the stairs, it does. It looks great. Is that really a place?
It's an older historic house district that's been turned into a bed and breakfast area. There's about 4 places right here that look like they're all B&B.
Oh, nice. Very nice. But what do you guys do in Washington?
So today we did some impromptu stops, and we call ourselves the problem solvers because our team, that's what we're about. You've read everything, right? Yeah, you've read it all. And we came to DC with the remedy, which is solving the problem. So today, the next thing I can say about today, the funnest part about today was that why are we reverberating?
It's Corinne or something.
Oh, okay. Tell me the story about.
So we went to my local congressman's office to hand him paperwork in which building? Cannon building.
Yeah.
Went to the Cannon building to visit my local representative out of Oregon, congressman. We get on the elevator, went to get on the elevator, and there's one little nondescript door directly next to the elevator. And as you said, we're the problem solvers as a group of people. And of course, what's on the plaque next to the door at this room next to the elevator? It's room 208, the problem solvers census
Caucus.
No way.
For DC. Yeah. Great.
Wow. That's cool.
I'm laughing and taking pictures about the problem solvers door. And out comes this poor kid by the name of something. We're going to keep that private for now.
Yeah.
He has to. But he comes walking out the door, and unfortunately, he got waylaid by the knuckleheads at the elevator. And we explained to him what we were doing, the fact that we had brought a bill forward to be looked at by some congressmen. And he was very engaging, and he took time out and did some, investigative questions with us and went on about his way. And we hope while we're here that, there's 50 bodies behind that door. It doesn't look like much, but there's 50 bodies behind that door. So we're hoping that, problem solvers to problem solvers, we'll get to have a sit down meeting in that room before we're gone this week. And that was just before we got started doing our business in the building.
That was just trying to find the door we were supposed to be at. And so we're wandering the hall, as we always do with people trying to help us find where we're going. We get all these old people in the hallway. And so it becomes fun, and then we get to explain why we're there. And then when he heard that we brought the bill, he said, "You did," and I handed it to him. And the first thing he did was repeat the number that was at the top, HR 1776. And he looked at me and he said, "I like that." And so it opened the door for us. So it was again, as Tammy and I and Matt said, when we in DC, we go right and God turns us around on our hill and turns us left. And that's where we're supposed to be. So we ended up with the problem solvers they really are it's like a doge, but it's called the problem solver office. There's 50 of them in that office. And they work literally solving the problems of the people, which we're like, well, no, we've done it. We've done it. We've got the bill. We've got the remedy. Then we started telling how we met with the coach and how Matt delivered things, and we gave the congresswomen and the men's names between them. And he was very impressed with that. And we said, yes, and we're working on getting 2 of them work together on this to sponsor it. And he literally couldn't get away from us, but he was very nice. He took John's number. He said he would work on seeing what he could do. We told him to be here. And I said, look, we really want to be the problem solver in that room with you and sit with you guys. And so he took the bill. He took the cover sheet that you helped we had, that I showed there, and then we put it all together, and then we have Rod, and he can explain what his part is. But Rod's paperwork in between, I believe I told you, Darren, that Rod's lawsuit that's going on that ties into something else that's part of our team has going on. And so, and those who don't know Rod has had 18 cases, correct, Rod?
Yeah.
18 cases, they're all sealed, by the way. But he has won on everything that that the people know who are working through these crimes to be true. The corporate structure, for instance, that's sealed under seal, that his case actually proved that in 2008 to 2012. All of these judicial crimes. So anyway, so that part of it, Rob, why don't you explain what you gave in that part?
What I gave to him is I brought a lawsuit against the United States Attorney's Office of D.C., Public Defender's Office of D.C., and D.C. itself for a Second Amendment violation back in 2013. Well, I got thinking about that. So what I did is I brought a charge in violation of North Carolina sovereignty. You violated the laws of North Carolina of the right to carry. So I went in after that aspect of this. And what I've learned throughout the years, you cannot sue these people straight up. You have to run them into an administrative court.
Amen.
North Carolina has administrative court settings. So I ran it into the administrative court in 2024 in January. They went dead silent. I got called into court on December 16th in 2024. I got my notice all day on Friday the 13th.
Oh, Jesus.
To show up in court on Monday, which I wasn't supposed to get because they thought it would be way late. But I got the paperwork. I walked into the courtroom at 10 o'clock in the morning. There was nothing but attorney in the courtroom. And the judge come out and he said, I am an administrative law judge. This is an administrative court. We're administrative issues. So I was number 27 out of 30. And everything in there dealt with attorneys. You could not see one client because this is an administrative hearing. It's a closed door hearing. I found it. I've been dealing with it for the last 10 years administratively. So when it comes time for me to come up, I walked up and I asked the judge, "What kind of question he asked?" He said, "Are you an administrative law judge?" He says, "Yes, I am." "Is this an administrative court?" He says, "Yes, it is." I said, "Now I know how to proceed with you. I have to sit here and show you a duty to perform, negligence in that duty, who was harmed, and the type of injury that was sustained." And I said, "The duty is that the United States Attorney's Office violated the sovereignty of North Carolina, violated the Constitution of North Carolina, violated the laws of North Carolina, violated Article 4, Section 1 and 2, violated the 14th Amendment, violated Title 40, 1980. And I said, now, by them doing it, they're negligent, took it into Title 5, 7311 of loyalty. They became disloyal. They came under Title 18, 1918. This comes back under disloyalty, under Title 18, 1621 of perjury. Stop that, stop. He said here and said, "Well, didn't a law firm, didn't you file paperwork in to have this case dismissed?" I said, "Yeah, but did you read what I responded back to them?" He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I went back and I showed that I disqualified the North Carolina Bar and Bar Association coming into the courtroom because nobody has a license. And the attorneys behind me, they're about dropping. You can hear everything hit the floor. One attorney got up, tried to get the judge off the bench to take him back to the back room. The judge wouldn't budge. And he said, "Well, Mr. Klaus," he says, "I need you to refile your paperwork back in." I said, "Why? You've already got it." He said, "Well, I'm a new administrative law judge and I need to redo this over again." Well, I didn't want to argue with him, but I did tell him, I said, "Look, you've already got the premises. You already got the proof that I filed this. There is default." I said, "But I'll play your game. I'll go back and refile." Well, we went back in January 2025, filed the paperwork in on the first part of January. The 28th of January, the United States Attorney's Office did a removal, removed it from the administrative court in Salisbury, moved it to Greensboro Court in the federal court, but they put it into the wrong court. They put it into the United States District Court for the District of Middle North Carolina.
Oh boy.
And I came back and said, "No, you can't do this because when you moved it under that California Act 1442, you had to put it into the District Court of the United States." That's right. The court you put me into is territorial, which is outside of North Carolina. You put me territorial. Well, we've been playing with this thing since January. Here we are. When I went back in and I disqualified her, the federal attorney has to be a member of the North Carolina Bar in order to work in federal court. The moment I disqualified the bar, that took her out of the courtroom. They turned around, they shipped another attorney of Texas to come in and handle this case. They did a removal. I said, "No, you can't do that because under your own set of rules, you had to file a leave of court. In order to get the one to leave, you had to file permission for the other one to come in. You can't do the legal move on any of it. She's not a member of the Carolina Bar. She can't sit here and do any paperwork." So now we turn around and they're not responding. So I did a summary judgment. I did the summary judgment and I put it in. I did all their defects, all the way down from the bar being disqualified, from the fact that they defaulted because they didn't answer for over a year. I laid all this shit out in my summary judgment. But then I went back and I did a required notice on them. As the statutes are the charging instrument for all crimes, for your side to turn around and want to violate the Constitution and violate the sovereignty of North Carolina becomes an act of treason, and you violate your own statute, which is the charging instrument. And I can bring a citizen's arrest in on you and do a citizen's arrest. So I laid out the entire fraud on this, laid out the whole thing. The judge gave the prosecution until the 8th of this month to respond to my summary judgment. The prosecution came back in, and at the very beginning, they said if the movement would agree and not dispute, judge can grant him his summary judgment if he doesn't dispute it. That means this is a plea agreement.
Plea bargain.
They want me to sit down and agree to the corruption. Well, as we go through the document, now they're sitting here telling me that because this is a federal court claim, a civil action, that they have absolute immunity and that they could be as corrupt and they can be as arrogant and they can withhold all the information they want because this was a civil action. And they went back and named a lot of case laws, and they named vivid case law in there. And they went back and said, oh, by the way, the judge has to decide whether jurisdiction is within her powers or not, and she has the authority to decide jurisdiction. And because I went after the public defender's office, they're sitting here saying that under the statute, the public defender's office is a government office up until the time the attorney walked into the courtroom. Now he's no longer a government employee, he's now an attorney. This is what they put in for me. So now I'm coming back in and I put a rebuttal with it and saying, well, because this was an administrative hearing and you moved it, there was no administrative decision, and you can't get a judicial review under Title 5, under 705, on 705, because there was no decision on this, and you can't remove it. And I went through and I laid out all the process of the administrative side, and I went back to under your page 6, paragraph 2, you said I had to do an administrative removal on them. I had to go back and go to the appropriate agency. I said, you guys put in my SF 95, went back to sheriff, and I notified the appropriate agencies. We got involved in this. I did the administrative side. I went back and I started explaining that because they use Title 28, 1346. And what that is, it sits there and talks about the District Court of the United States together with in the United States District Court for the Canal Zone or the United States District Court in the Virgin Islands, they have joint consecutive work with one another. Well, I would actually no, because you just decided that you defined the District Court of the United States together with, which means there's another set of court systems. And because you brought me into the United States District Court for the Middle District of North Carolina, you put me outside of North Carolina into a territory that doesn't exist. So your court doesn't exist. This is my paperwork. So now we're laying out. Then they come down and say, oh, by the way, you put in that the public defender's office is only a government office when it is not in the courtroom. I said, you're forgetting one thing. You're trying to bring a tort claim in. We're still under the administrative side, so I can't bring charges against the public defender's office. And administrative, not in civil. Then I went down in section 4. I said, oh, by the way, because your attorney does not have a license to practice law, under your regulations, you can't allow her to practice. And under AO 153, the admission form, because of, admission form, she's not allowed to walk into the courtroom in order to do anything in a courtroom. If I were to have a lawsuit in West Virginia, I gave the case number. I've brought charges against the American bar, the national bar, the state bar, the federal bar, and because they failed to have a license, they can't operate in a courtroom either, and they can't make a decision because the attorneys have come back and told the judge, you don't have jurisdiction over the association in order to make the ruling under 12B2. I go, no, wait a minute, back up. The moment that judge sits there and says, Mr. Clapp, you have to hire a bar member, the court just gave jurisdiction over the association. And the moment you sit down and say, only members of the bar can be in the courtroom, the court has jurisdiction over the association, and they went to silent. This is what we handed this gentleman up here at the Kansas building. I laid all this stuff out to him. I explained it. We're going after corruption in the United States Attorney's Office because nobody's qualified to do their job. And they how corrupt they are. That's the thing is, they put it in writing. They sit down and said, well, we're corrupt.
Holy smokes.
That's pretty cool,
Wow.
huh? Yeah, so between the bill, documents, cover sheet, and what we've already done, there's no way to get around it. What we're doing, there's just no way. And the one interesting thing too is a case that they brought up against Rod. You talk about serendipitous. We're telling you, God's moving this mountain. The Bivens case, I'm telling you, this is really cool.
So the Bivens case is a guy by the name of Stephen Bivens out of Georgia. And he and his lawyer, pro bono buddy, fought, I want to say 8 to 10 years against the corruption. And it was over an $80,000 property that had no house on it. And it wasn't the value of the property that pissed him off. It was the corruption that pissed him off. And the lawyer and he went after the system. And it took them 10 years to finally win their fight. But he was able to win. He had a gag order on the final verdict. They paid him enough. He kept the property. So he won his case. And he took enough money home that he took care of his lawyer. He took care of his children's higher education, 2 or 3 children. He went out and bought a 50 or 60-foot yacht, sailed around the world twice with it. Met a lady in Brazil, married her, got to sail around the world with her. And then in the final year and a half of his life, unfortunately, he fell ill and didn't get to enjoy the rest of his life. And, I lean that towards the fact that he put so much effort into winning his case and the stress of the case.
But the really cool thing is he was a friend of all of ours. And so serendipitously here, they're using cases against Rod for the man that we all worked with. And Carol Keene again, Carol and I, when his case first started, because it was SPS, literally helped at the beginning. Then we all got involved. So John, Tom, myself, Jean Michel out of New York, all of us were involved in his case. On the backside, we talked to his attorney, we helped with evidence, we all gave our evidence from SPS for him. So the serendipitous part here they're quoting the Bivens case, not knowing because the part of it that ended it where he won was sealed, but he won his case. So the argument they're attempting to make against Rod, not only were they just crazy in the things they were bringing in, administrative court, tort complaint, they brought in a case which they thought was like getting with it because he didn't win. He kept appealing and then they went back and back. But in the end, not only did he win, he won big. But they sealed it. But then he passed away. But that's terrible. But the good news is Steve still lives on because his work for all those years, there was so much there. And Dave McCrae, who was also passed on, was part of that. Dave was the PHH lawsuit, the big, class action lawsuit. So in coming in with a case that they thought was just a simple case that the guy lost, they opened up another can of worms without knowing that our whole team knows that case. We're personal to that case. Steve means something to our heart. And they flunked big F, bad on that filing that Rod has now responded to in such eloquent terms, and yet so simply saying, not only have you guys screwed up, but you committed treason. It's typical domestic terrorism. And we, the people that now are talking with the problem solvers who have met with Doge, have given the remedy. And tomorrow, by the way, we meet with the judiciary and another congresswoman. Today we found out there's another congressman that wants to meet with us on Wednesday. So our schedule has filled up very quickly. And it's because of you guys out there, everyone sitting on this couch. And by the way, we have a surprise coming in tonight. And I'm going to tell him.
I'd wait till he shows.
Wait till he shows up. Okay, because he's here somewhere on his way to the house. So he may pop in before the end of this. But we brought all of y'all. We brought every case. We brought the child trafficking. Another interesting fact is there's a kid who was helping us. They literally decided we need an escort through the caverns of the entire Cannon building over to the congressional gallery, excuse me. And so during that walk, he's connected to us through a state that he's from and knows the House of Representatives that's flying in tomorrow to be with us and to be with us at the other meeting with the congressman that's asked for the meeting. So it's all coming to, it's not us, believe me. We turn right and somebody pulls the shirt and somehow we're going left. That's dead true. It's just because we're here. We're not taking no for an answer. No is a sentence, by the way, but we take it not for an answer unless no means good for us, because it's the people's work we're doing. And I want to introduce you guys to Tammy and to Peter, her husband. Tiffany, this is the woman I told you. This is Jonah Reefsmith.
Hi, Tiffany.
So talk.
Hi, Tiffany. Anyways, it's a pleasure to meet you. And yes, so I heard too a little bit. Your case sounds kind of familiar, but again, it's our time right now to get relief, and to see our property returned and to have those have much recovery, right?
And to bring the kids home.
Bring the kids home. That's what this is about. That's what we're here to do. It's time. It is time to do that. This is happening right now. It really is happening right now. That's
well. I definitely want to stay in touch with all of you. But you're right. And I sit on a committee here in Virginia, and our legislative body is saying, we're tired. Like you said the other night, they're tired of hearing the stories. They don't want any more stories.
No.
They want something done. And that is what was said in one of our meetings tonight. We don't want to hear any more stories. How can we remedy this?
That's right.
Well, we brought the remedy. That, Tiffany, is exactly why we went to DC.
Yep.
We brought the remedy in 1,136 pages of administrative process that started in 2019 in Orange County, California, and has gone to every state in this union. 14 states ratified. And this is Darla Gula, who is actually our Texas petition of remonstrance state rep. You want to say your experience about today?
I had a very good day today. I am more or less learning the way things work, and I'm hearing some very good stories. And today I saw a lot of people coming to us like with a smile and shaking hands and things like that. So it was interesting.
Yeah, it's an experience, to say the least, to recognize that all these years that we've been met with slammed doors, that we finally figured out that you don't have to be perfect to walk through them.
Yep.
And in fact, the more imperfect you are, which if you look at our group here, we're tired. They just came in from a 14-hour drive. We flew in yesterday. John and I had a very long day because to get cheap flights, you have to go to Hillsdale and everywhere and in between in Egypt. And somehow you go in a big circle around the country and get where you go 10 hours, which should have taken you 4, right? But then Darla came in and then Rod came in. You were here last night, right, Rod?
We've been
Yeah.
here 2 days.
2 days. And then Matt came in, and so Matt was here last night. And so what we're trying to tell you guys is we're here. If anybody's in town, come be with us. We never know what to expect. Today, the biggest thing, even though we met with with 2 congressional offices to deliver paperwork, tomorrow's big meetings that have been planned. Wednesday is big meeting. And hang on. Start talking. I gotta take this.
Okay.
Hey, man.
Henry, you asked about still getting appointments made. There's going to be bodies here till I believe Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, are you
Some
here?
of us have to fly away on Thursday or before, but
Can you walk out, Matt? He can't see the building.
open the,
We're on a podcast, so we're glad you
got
came
a
in
teal,
to say
got
hi
a teal
to
colored
everyone.
shirt coming out to you.
Okay, Matt has a teal colored shirt. He's coming out the door.
So anyway, so there are still some time frames that we can go see and talk to
No,
Congress folks.
hang on. Let me.
What we figured out today was
Sorry, I'm in my PJs.
we have to appear on behalf of a constituent in their district. So as in Henry's case, Henry's on his way into town and we're going to appear on his behalf for Wisconsin and talk to that congressperson. So we have to make those types of contacts if we're there to take care of the. Damn slumber party pajamas. Right. There's a story behind the s'mores. So anyway, there are some specific timeframes open. Tomorrow's going to be a pretty busy day. Wednesday's going to be a pretty busy day. I think there's some time on Thursday. We can still bang on doors for those types of things. Friday as well. And then of course, I think everybody's gone for the weekend. So, if you go to our tollandroill.com website or to Pause Electronic Recordation on Facebook, my personal contact number is on the Facebook page as a contact to meet us or call us while you're here in town in DC. If you reach out or you want to put it on your podcast, you're welcome to. I can say it on air if you want me to right now.
Put it up, Darren.
Say that again. Oh, doing the nod.
I was barking an order at Darren.
Copy. For anybody that needs to make contact, there's ways to contact us. Just reach out. It's pretty blatantly obvious. You can find us pretty easy. You look at tollandroill.com or Toll and Roill 2025 on Facebook, I think, either way. And the people with the podcast, they have our information as well.
You guys are doing great work. I'm so thrilled because I've been fighting the system with families for more than half my life, 36 years.
Right.
Wow. Yeah. Good for you.
Praise God for you.
I'm crash coursing everything because I'm a house fighter and Billy's a house fighter. But since April, when we came to the end of April 1st to May the first time, Matt's a guardianship, adult guardianship and CPS fighter. We've got child trafficking fighters. We have, the house fighters. It's all tied together through the correct court system. So, we're all ganging up together because we're all individuals, but we're all here for the same fight. And locking elbows together, we're a stronger group, and that's what it's about.
The one that does guardianship and the CPS, where is he from?
He's local. Go ahead, Matt.
Fairfax County, Virginia. My dad was and he put into a probate guardianship case in 2015. He died before his time in 2018 under a great deal of duress and provocation at the 19th Circuit Court of here.
Wow. Well, we need to get together. I'm in Winchester. I'm not that far from you.
No, love a meeting.
Oh,
Well, I actually have a rally this Saturday if you'd like to come. It's here in Winchester.
Sure. Dublin, Morgan. All right, our impromptu guest got here, so we can kind of let the egg down the
Go
basket.
ahead and have a seat next to Tammy over here. Oh, come on in. So, guys,
You're fine.
Sheriff Mack is at the house.
Oh my God, I love that man.
So we're
I
talking.
am about to pick my behind up off the floor.
We're talking on my
can you
phone.
see him?
See my
Can you see him?
No, we cannot see him.
Good.
I
So,
love
yeah, so now we've got Rod, we've got Sheriff Matt, we got Tammy and Peter, we got our crazy crew, and yes, I'm wearing pajamas, and we're supposed to see that.
It's a slumber party. Who cares?
These are my 5 PJs. This is what started it all. The morning that I left before I found my ranch burned down, I was wearing these pajamas. I did a live video because I was madder than heck about everybody stealing the kids and everything else. And I didn't realize, and I was on, and I went, oh my God, I got fire on me. And then I had this candle that I posted, and it was, my last give a F has been lit. And that was the afternoon I rolled up the hill and found my ranch burned down. And one of our dear friends had committed suicide at the same time.
Oh, wow.
So on March 7th, these pajamas actually have significance. It says some more love on them because our country needs some more love, right?
I have to agree.
And this woman, not only some more love, but we found out we're cousins.
Yes, we did. We did.
So here we've got, you can't make this stuff up, guys. Today we end up with the problem solvers in DC, literally the problem solver caucus. And now I'm surrounded by people who have taught me so much. Sheriff Mack and Rod Class, bookends on this couch right now, literally have been so much to the education that allowed me to be able to have the strength to bring forth what I've brought under constitutional law with the knowledge of what our courts have done to us. And I'm done. I'm so excited. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, can we put Sheriff Mack on, please? I am just thrilled. I feel like Elton John's in the room. Can we put Sheriff Mack on?
Are you going to say that to him?
I do have something.
That's too funny.
Today.
So would you like to say something about your trip? We haven't heard anything. Is there anything we shouldn't tell them?
Everything was fine. It was we got here a little early, and I never checked in my hotel. I just came right.
I'm so glad you did. And you know what's, I want to tell you guys, can we tell them what you got planning on coming up in October?
With my sheriff's event. Oh, absolutely.
Tell them.
We need to raise money. Send
We
us money.
can't see him.
We really
Oh,
have
you
to.
gotta send over.
We should. I'm not.
Yeah. Well, Matt, why don't you sit right here? Here.
Yes.
I'll get it. Oh, we play magical chairs.
The living room is only so large.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mean to interrupt. I just have to say this to you, Sheriff Mack. I am such a fan of yours. I get emails from your little group all the time. I'm like, oh my God, he needs to come here when I go talk to my sheriff because him and I have some issues. But go ahead. Oh, I'm going to shut up now.
They're so excited to see you.
The shirt's actually from my alma mater.
Yeah? Oh, is it really?
Yeah, you can see the little Gila monsters.
Uh-huh.
We're the only school in the country that's Gila monsters.
Oh, no way.
Oh, I know.
Eastern Arizona College.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, our event we switched it. We just pushed it back a little, but it's the first week in November. We don't even have an exact date, but we do have the place nailed down. And the sheriffs in Washington State are being attacked more than in any other state. And King County has already stolen the stewardship of the people and now appoint the sheriff. And the attorney general, his last name is Brown, is suing some sheriffs. They're trying to arrest some others. And county commissions are trying to remove sheriffs because they want to enforce the law and have law and order, and they want to be constitutional sheriffs. The one I've talked to the most, well, there's several I've talked to quite a bit, but Sheriff Wagner of Adams County, he says, look, if you're coming here, if the CSPOA is coming here to have a meeting, I don't want to join you. I don't want to be part of that. I just want to be a constitutional sheriff. And I said, that's all we want. I never asked sheriffs to join us. Where we get our funding is from the people in this room. Where, in fact, we have a membership called the Sheriff's Posse, the CSPOA Posse, and that's $11 a month. But right now, we don't have the money for this thing yet. I've raised about $20,000, and we need to raise $40,000 more so that we can pay for these sheriffs. Then people go, why do you have to pay for the sheriff? Because do you want them to go to their budget and the county and say, I need money to go to a CSPOA meeting in Washington? First, they'll turn them down and they'll say, well, because that's the only thing the county has over the sheriff is finances. The rest of it, they don't answer to the governor. They don't answer to the AG. They don't answer to the county attorney. And they are autonomous. But we need to get more autonomy relative to money. But this is, I'm telling you, this is us going into the belly of the beast. I've got Sheriff Darleaf coming. I've got Sheriff Dan Marks from Iowa. And they went after him because he was helping, he wasn't helping deportation enough. He wasn't helping enough.
Ridiculous.
I kid you not.
That's ridiculous.
And he said, all I'm asking, he says, I'm a constitutional sheriff. I've had Sheriff Mack's training. Sheriff Mack was instrumental in why I ran for sheriff. And so I'm going to follow the rules. And he and I have had several talks. And I said, I don't know if what you're saying is correct, but I love that it's your personal feelings about the Constitution. And so he said, I'm not going to turn him over to ICE or anybody else if I don't have a warrant in my hand. And he said that the detaining order is not a warrant. So God bless him for that. You know, I still don't know if he's right, but that's his feeling.
Is that dark?
And no, it's Sheriff Dan Marks.
Oh, Marks. Okay.
Dan Marks in Iowa. Darley's in Michigan.
Yeah.
So anyway, I believe if we don't have this and we don't raise the other 40,000,
It's crazy.
that it's going to be too mamsy-pamsy, and there's going to be me and two other speakers and maybe a few of them that want to come there from Washington State. I've actually left a message with Tom Holman and have asked him to come speak, but he hasn't returned my text yet.
And you know, an interesting thing, this is why I asked you, Sheriff Dar, that you were talking about.
Sure.
Sheriff Dar, which a lot of people don't know in Michigan, he actually has been working with our team. Behind the scenes, Renee Weiler out of Michigan, who's done a lot of the work with me. Her and I are the reasons that all of this got tied into Orange County, because we brought the whole country into Orange County. But Sheriff Dar has been in multiple emails. Renee has provided him all the evidence that we have that goes beyond even what we've given Doge. The things we gave Doge simplified and showed, here's the pattern, here's the evidence of the pattern, here's how it happens, and oh, by the way, here's how we fix it. And everybody that has seen it recognizes that this is how it's fixed. But the cool thing, again, how serendipitous this is, I did not know Sheriff Dar was part of this. And now we have another connection to Toll and Roill. And Henry asked me quickly to explain for those who don't know. Toll and Roill, if you go to tollandroill.com, Toll and Roill is about fixing this country as a unified source, tying us together. Everything, again, tries to tear us apart. Everybody has a group for CPS, a group for guardianship, a group for human trafficking, a group for all of this. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So anyhow, so Henry got that. You guys already had that. But Sheriff Dar actually has, anyhow, just say he's tied in, he's got the information, and we're actually working with him even stronger than people had known in the past. And he's a kick-ass guy. He's an honorable guy. He wants to get stuff done. He's just as tired as everybody else about the judicial corruption, recognizes that constitutional sheriffs have to have the honor that they deserve and has to have the man behind the badge that deserves wearing the badge. We can no longer just have people appointing people because they're somebody's sister's brother-in-law who had ridden a motorcycle for the sheriff's department or for the police department for 2 years, graduated last in his class, and has an IQ of a pickle. That's done. We're done with that. So this is an exciting time. I'm really excited. We want to help with this event. I've talked with Tammy about this, and go ahead.
So we've talked about how we could come together to, as with all over the country. We have others in Texas too that we're connecting with on the film project too. We think that's another way to bring in ways to raise funds as well. So we have some other ideas that we're going to be on this trip actually, that we're going to be coalescing with and brainstorming with to raise funds as well.
Because that's what we do. We solve problems, and
Right.
so money is never really a problem. It's just the root of the problem. So it really is. So we don't always need as much as we think to make things happen, but without having at least enough to get it moving, you can put a lot of pieces together and get people to do things, but you have to be able to bring people from across the country.
Yeah.
So bringing these sheriffs who want to do this right thing, because if you're out there and you have no clue that a sheriff is the highest form of authority in his jurisdiction, he can go in. Denny, Payment is one of my heroes. I met Denny when I was in at Bundy Ranch back in 2014. We bonded over foreclosure. Denny was a man who literally arrested a judge off the bench. He had the IRS and the FBI hit town. They were going to shut down this ranch, take everything they had. Then he stopped him. He said, "Ho, whoa, pull your reins in, buddy. You're not coming here. Turn those vehicles around and get out of my county." This is what a sheriff can do. The problem is we have people usurping around these true, honorable men, believing that they have the authority without even being chosen for office, without us even voting them in, unelected, making these choices. So this is our DAs causing problems because they have a DA they'll appoint after someone leaves, like in Orange County. Thank you, Todd Spitzer, even though you haven't left yet. You've cost the county a fortune, and now I'm having to sue you. So, when you let your sheriffs hire people who go rogue, who don't understand the Constitution, we end up in the mess we're in, but we brought the problem solving. Go ahead, Tammy.
Well, I was going to say too, we all know too, you got a constitutional sheriff, as we all know too, they have the ability, they have the official right to go in and basically arrest your rogue, corrupt judges. Okay. So this is really important. So when you have sheriffs that have been sold out and are working for the shadow government, I'm just going to say it. Okay. I'm not going to pretend it's not.
They answer to the judge.
Yeah, well, that's right. They because they don't know the Constitution. They've not studied what our amendments, and it's we the people. So it's us that have to stand up and actually stand with Sheriff Matt and sheriffs like that. Again, we have to line all over the country. There's even others that I know in the state of Missouri that are all authenticated. The whole group's the sheriff and all the deputies. So when we can find more and more to align with like that, that is the way too we can see change, and we the people can stand and we can take authority. Authority, it's a power within us to take authority over this situation. Okay.
So what you have here in front of you on this camera, first of all, is very tired people.
Right.
But you just heard from Rod Class, who is an amazing man in the courtroom, who knows how to work outside the courtroom, who is not only working on our team, part of our team, but we have another action that soon we'll be able to tell you what's going on with that. Not for Toll and Roill, but separate from Toll and Roill, with a few of us delegates involved. Matt, he was probate. He's brings a huge part of that in here. Matt is still working hard. You have a team in front of you here that are working across this country all the time. Tammy and I now are going to be helping with a new case out of California that I brought to her. That is a case that sounds just like her case. So knowing Tammy, learning from Tammy, as soon as I heard the particulars, I knew this woman had been internationally trafficked. We're in the process of getting her bloodline drawn. We're getting everything in place because the man who was helping her, the private investigator, had really no knowledge of what he had in his hands. And when he presented the evidence to the police or the sheriff department and in the police departments, he said, "You got a bad cop in LA." And I heard him and I said, "You didn't tell him that." He said, "Yeah." And I said, do you realize he was her handler? He said, what do you mean handler? And I said, this is what I'm telling you.
Right.
When you think you know something, but you really don't, you helped them traffic her because they had to get her out of the country because you had turned it over to a buddy who spent 30 years in an agency that wasn't really the agency that's a cover. His buddy was either Interpol or CIA. So this man ghosted him after a 30-year best friend friendship when he handed him the evidence. So when I told him, you need to stop, we need to get your information with Tammy and the team that knows what this means. So now we have him on the right path. The family is out of the country because that's where they are. They're in another country. That's where she was from. She literally put out, I'll call it her own bolo, before she disappeared, saying the consulate is going to traffic me. They're putting me in a cage. They laughed at her. They said, nobody puts anybody in a cage. She's crazy, da, da, da. Well, tell them.
Yeah,
It's-
and
it's
again, so again, I mean, there's all kinds of ins and outs of how different officials are hidden in plain sight and that are trafficking children, women, young boys all over the world, all in this country, especially at different levels. Interpol does do interchange with CIA and different levels of different intelligence. We'll just, even the Reconnaissance Intelligence Agency, which is a leg also of CIA. But again, going back to our constitutional sheriffs, every time you have any kind of police report, it all starts with what? Starts with your sheriffs and your police reports. You don't get anywhere. It's very difficult to try to get a case all the way to the top. I know I've dealt with it with the State Department, the Bureau of State. And when you have a whole backyard full of corrupt police and sheriffs, and then you're trying to, because that's protocol, right? To have your police reports. So that's a difficult place to go. So again, we're trying to navigate this system as what we're trying to do. When you get into child trafficking, you get into government-sponsored kidnapping and sanctioned government-sponsored kidnapping of our judiciary, then again, we have to have people that are officials, that are constitutional, going to stand with us and to peel back the onion of those that have been put in place. Because let me tell you, there's a lot of people that are in the intelligence world that actually can double also for police officers. A lot of people don't know that, by the way. So I just want to mention that. So we're up against that as well. So we're peeling back all of that as well as we have to do.
Let me add one other thing too, just to make sure that everybody's seeing the conclusion of what I was actually alluding to earlier. If a sheriff wants to cooperate with ICE or any other federal agency within their proper sphere of authority, they can. If they don't want to, that's fine too. You know why? It's up to the sheriff and his constituents, but he can't interfere. The federal government has a lot of authority over immigration. Okay, there's 5 law enforcement powers that we, the people, delegated to the federal government or the 13 original states. Either way, it's the same. Those 5 powers we need to be aware of. 1, treason. That's a federal offense.
Yes.
Okay, it could be also a state. This one can't be a state. It's counterfeiting. This is right in the Constitution, folks. 3, felonies committed on the high seas. The states aren't going to be patrolling the oceans. 4, in Article 4, Section 4, they are required to protect our borders from invasion. That's a shall. Okay, and 5, violations of treaties. Those are the only 5 law enforcement powers they have. So, just for instance, where do they have any authority to do drug interdiction? At the border. After that, it's all the states and counties. That's it. This is how much power they've stolen, and they're still stealing it. We've got to get it back to the states and the counties and to the sheriff. And that's what I've been trying to do for 30, 40 years now. So that everyone understands, the sheriff reports to the people in his county within the promise that he will uphold and defend the United States Constitution. And if we had the sheriffs of this country, if we just had half of them, if we had a third, if we had 1,000 sheriffs doing that, we wouldn't be having this meeting right now, because it would be mind-blowing.
Right.
Imagine your country if you had 1,000 Darleys.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe 50 Sheriff Matt. But it would be so mind blowing to have that, because once you get 1,000, many others are going to join up. But the thing of it is, we've been so attacked, and I've been so attacked. But sheriffs have. Look at Dar. He has survived. Now he's into his 5th term, and boy, I want to go back to my people and say, why did you vote me out for suing the Clinton administration? My God, you know. But I didn't win at the Supreme Court until 8 months later, after I lost my race. So, and obviously I was supposed to go other places. And my wife knew that. I did. I wanted to stay sheriff. But folks, we have to realize the sheriff has only one boss, and that's we the people in this county. But you can't make him violate the Constitution. You can't make him violate his oath. And so the thing of it is, he can't be required by anyone to help with deportation or help with anything else. It's up to him and his constituents. Whether he works with the feds or doesn't work with the feds, it's up to him and his constituents.
And wouldn't it be nice to have that where we have the ability to go to our sheriff? For instance, we have one going on up Northern California where the sheriff in the opposing county isn't helping. They're burying evidence, but yet I got a phone call and he says, what can I do? I said, go to your other sheriff who actually wants to do the job to help, because he's going to help you, and he got help that way. So we're very excited about this. Matt, did you want to chime in anything over
I
here?
was going to say, no, I appreciate this broadcast. Everything that we've discussed tonight is really paramount towards reforms, and we've got a fix on this. We're doing everything we need to do.
And
There were some questions on the chat. Mike with Jennifer Brad, I think it's Brabson. Earlier, you'd asked specifically about you had emailed all the emails at Doge and haven't had a response. I'll tell you right now, we're not getting a lot of response out of Doge, only because as a bounty hunter for the federal government, their hands are full to the max. They have a lot going on. They're seeing things. We have one in where we have some contact going on, and he's kind of kept us abreast of things. But there's a lot going on with that situation. As far as trying to figure out if anything happens with things happening in the whole gist of things, the guy sitting next to me, I've been a part of his posse for 2 years now. And I've emailed that outfit more times than I can count, but I've had no response. But all of a sudden I'm sitting next to the man. So it happens, you know, shit happens for a reason. Pardon my French.
I tried to do it person to person.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate that. Right. So all I can say is have patience. Things happen for a reason in a specific time, just like he said about his wife knowing and he didn't. I had a similar situation, you know, if it wasn't for my wife being there, I love her to death.
Oh, and it's our 50th wedding anniversary.
Oh, congratulations. And guys, I want to chime in. The thing about those, let me answer something. It sounded like we hadn't gotten anywhere with those. That's not what he's saying. We got in the door. They have all the evidence.
Yes.
They're investigating. Their attorneys are not happy because there was so much going on. As I told you guys last week, that we got in the door, they would have never let us in if they saw our remedy and they saw our work prior to us actually having the investigation starting to open. So you're sending stuff to them. We can honestly tell you they're getting hundreds of thousands of emails, hundreds of thousands. If you want somehow for at least your email to be seen, we've tied the Toll and Roill algorithm in hard.
Yeah.
They can't get rid of Toll and Roill. So in the subject line, all you have to do is put in there. Now you have to send us your affidavit. It's on the website, tollandroill.com. You don't even have to create it. It's the affidavit already created for Doge that all you have to do is notarize, send to us. Then when you send those emails, in the subject line, put additional Toll and Roill evidence dash your last name. Now, you're not going to get a response more than likely. I can guarantee you nobody's getting in their door anymore either, because since we got in, since we delivered what we did and we brought it all, they started putting big fences around places, razor wire around the top. That happened 3 weeks after our last big visit at the OMB building. So, and that's where all their attorneys are, all their offices are, their administrative part. And when they saw the affidavit, because it clearly states that we are no longer going to tolerate unelected people doing the job for the elected people, screwing us in everything, stealing everything we own. Counterfeiting is Dr. Doctor. Now I'm calling you Doctor.
Dr.
Dr. Matt,
Believe
what
me,
he said about counterfeiting. That's a hate offense in the Constitution. It's in our documents. Felonies in our documents.
Yep.
Domestic terrorism. We've demanded that this be a domestic terrorist. Every time someone records a counterfeit, forged, perjured document, we want them deemed domestic terrorists under a national emergency, so that any of these yokels, attorneys, the hedge funds guys,
Yes, sir.
brokers, anybody can be held accountable right away. There's civil and criminal penalties with all of these documents. So it's not just land docs, it's court documents. It's all these documents across the country. Any attorney you've ever heard who lied his way to a win, that's why those attorneys are upset. The article I wrote last month for online that was published was called "Doge is Compromised, Just Not the Way You Think." Doge is compromised just like the rest of our country because of the American Bar Association, because of the state bar associations, because of the federal bar. You go on and on. Why are they compromised? Because they are a communist state. As of 1954, this was a planned takeover of our courts, our schools, our lives. Right. And we brought it. Read it, go to our website, read the documents, because guys, everyone in this chat, everyone listening, everyone that's going to listen, even when this is replayed, this is for you.
Right. And I want to say something too, if I may. So let's not forget too what the bar really stands for. We all know, you guys, it's a corporation. It stands for the British Accredited Registry. So they don't have any oaths. They're not taking oaths to you guys, for we the people. So just remember that. So when you think about when you want to hire one of those guys, you're going to be, I mean, they're not going to uphold your rights or your civil liberties, because their oath is not to we the people. So this is why we all need to understand what our Constitution says, and we all need to start educating all of our kids and all of you guys out there. Let's get educated together with Toll and Roill, and let's roll, you guys.
Roll.
Serious. Yeah, let's do it.
So we're here. So that's our update for today.
Tiff,
Yeah.
Tiff, what was your question? You were going to ask a question. What were you going to ask, Tiff?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just there's so much feedback. Okay, it's gone. So Sheriff Mack, I know I get emails from you once a month or whatever. I'm so excited. But anyway, so I'm going to meet with my sheriff, because him and I have had it out, because I call him out on his bullshit all the time. And I'm tired of his police officers surrounding my house because my neighbor calls, and because he doesn't like me. So I've called a meeting with him. How do I know if he's constitutional or not? Because he's not ethical, I can tell you that.
Well, then he's probably unconstitutional. But look, you need to have a one-on-one with him and ask him flat out, face to face. Are you a constitutional sheriff?
I'm going
Ask
to.
him. And depending on his answer, then you have other questions beyond that, obviously. If he says he is, then you say, okay, ask him some questions. Did you enforce COVID-19 mandates? Do you enforce gun control laws? If they come in here, if the federal government under Biden, if he had his way in Cumberland, and they came in to go door to door confiscating guns like they did during Hurricane Katrina, what would he have done? Those are three that are pretty easy, and you're going to know afterwards if he is it doesn't sound like you have one, but we always try to be patient because first of all, you can't go in just like in the New Testament. You have to give the milk before the meat. You can't just go in there and expect the sheriff to go arrest the governor or get his posse and go and arrest somebody in Washington D.C. or whatever. God knows we need that, but the first thing of it is a sheriff can investigate crimes of public corruption. And he can do that anywhere that that crime has had an effect in his county. So it might take him to Washington, it might take him to the state capitol, but that's fine. But when you're going to convert a sheriff to the Constitution and these principles, they have to be line upon line. If they've never read the Bill of Rights, you got to start at the beginning, and you can't expect him to understand a lot of the stuff that you all have been studying for years, maybe decades. And so if I have a little patience with sheriffs who are ignorant, but if they're intentionally ignorant, you need to find somebody else, or you need to move to a place like Berry County, Michigan.
I've got local sheriffs, and there's an age bracket break between an older sheriff that understands constitutional law and a younger generation, because I asked a guy that's in his late 30s that just got done with schooling. He had to go to the schooling in the academy to become a sheriff, police academy. They teach almost zero constitutional law in that academy.
Almost zero, really?
They took a constitutional oath of office, so it's there. But when I asked him what those words meant in that constitutional oath of office, he couldn't tell me.
They don't even know why they take
They don't.
No,
Exactly.
they have
They
no
say the
clue.
words. They speak the words. They have zero. Exactly. It's just a ceremony. I do swear by God, blah, blah, blah. And that's as far as it goes. And unfortunately, they have to be re-educated because they're not getting the proper education to the academy. Unfortunately, we have to educate our sheriff.
Yeah.
And some of them are open to that. I had 12 officers at my house the day I lost my house.
Yeah.
They all took a constitutional oath of office to uphold the law and take care of their constituents. And there wasn't a single one of them that was there taking care of the constituent. They were stealing my house for the judge and the lawyers. And so I educated them while they were taking me off my property, as my neighbors did as well, telling them they were there taking care of business the wrong way for the wrong people.
And remember, guys, the reason we have toll and roll is because in Orange County, California, multiple sheriff's jurisdictions, and for those in California, Sheriff Bianca in Riverside was one of the sheriff jurisdictions involved in with Orange County, with Rancho Santa Margarita, with the mayors, with the DAs that stole everything my family owns, allowed double SWAT teams over a 3-year period on my property. And when they came in, the last SWAT, there's only a 47-year-old woman and a 13-year-old. My daughter was only 13 at the time. I had gone to the sheriff's. They SWAT teamed without a warrant, cocky as heck. And when they hit my house the last time, I had been given warning not to be home because they were coming for me. And guess what? When they hit my house, whole driveway, I had 27 acres, by the way, whole driveway full of undercover in khaki pants, Homeland Security, but it's Sheriff's Homeland Security. FBI was involved, helicopter overhead, multiple sheriff's units down the hill to take a property. They knew it wasn't constitutional. They saw the crimes, the fraud committed, the counterfeiting, the perjury. These are not constitutional sheriffs. So just because a man like Bianca, I'm not saying his name right, I say it wrong.
Chad Bianco.
Bianco. Even though he's standing there smiling, cocky as heck, acting like he's Mr. I'll take it from Newsom, you need to do your homework. Just because the man can smile and look good, talk to the people around the county. Ask the people who've lost their homes, their land, their lives, by the way. to an unconstitutional sheriff. Their job should have been to stop the crimes, not to participate and take checks from MERS, take checks from lawyers, take checks from bankers. That's not how this country was set up. So Toll and Roill came together because the sheriff would not do his job. Had he have done his job, none of us would be sitting on this couch right now, and this would not be happening. So out of the ashes, the phoenix rises. God's got this. We've got this. As crazy as it can seem, the people have come together with the right team. We're here. We want to do this support the sheriff's Mac going, big thing he's doing in Washington State. Support Toll and Roill. And when I say support for Toll and Roill, I don't mean send money. What I mean is pick up the phone, call your congressman, call your senator. We're here this week. You call their offices and say, hey, they're in your hallways. They're going to come in. They're going to bring you paperwork. Please greet them. Please talk to them. Please meet with them. And by the way, they've brought a bill for congressional sponsorship. This is happening, you guys. We are not going away. And by the way, on a good note, old Smoker John over here, we're going to be having a huge barbecue on a whole block here in DC. We're lining up with a restaurant here who's a smokehouse.
That sounds good, right?
We're going to do a street fair. We're bringing in an event, and so hopefully when that event happens, it's going to be also with the good news that Doge has done their job, that Rod Kless has now stepped forward with the badge as the bounty hunter and the private attorney general to finish what we've all started over decades ago. Him 40 years, me 20 years, Tammy 17. You know, Matt, you've been at this, a long time, 40 years yourself, right? All of us have been involved for years. But guess what? This is but a drop in time for God. So we get impatient and we want things to happen now. Tell us what they're doing. What we can tell you is the engine's moving.
My feet are tired.
Our dogs are definitely tired. Poor Rod, we almost had to bring in the cavalry for him for the last mile. We didn't realize we were going to be walking every tunnel under DC. But we're doing the work. It's because of you. Because you support the other people. So make the phone calls. Pick up the phone tomorrow. It doesn't matter whether they're your guy or not. Just call and say, hey, we got Toll and Roill in town. They've already had great meetings. They're going to be at every cannon, the Rayburn, the Hart Building, the Longworths. Did I leave anything out? There's more. But we have enough paperwork for every 500 and almost 50 offices in DC. That's why we're here for a week, because you can't hit all of them in one day. So how we hit those offices is with your help, making those phone calls, talking about CISPOA, talking about Toll and Roill. Give everybody the news that we've rolled into town again. Believe me, they know who we are. We are not someone that has not been talked about. Our paperwork is being passed around tonight as we speak. And as Matt says all the time, they are definitely listening. Now, it's our job to make sure they're acting, not just acting as actors, but acting in the sense of the fruits of our labors, your labor, and everything we've done for decades. And the people have had enough. And I think this last week, more than anything, rest in peace, old Charlie. We love you. And we are going to make sure that God's mighty hand that's on us crazy people, taking us left when we go right, it's because he's in control of this bus. I'm not driving, John.
Thank God.
All right, guys. So,
So hopefully we have whatever 5 more minutes here so we can get off, because we're all tired. A lot of us are hungry. And we just want to thank you very, very much from the bottom of our hearts for the support, for reaching out, and for being out there. Sorry, Tiffany, and you too, Darren, for what you've had to go through as a family. But you got the team here to support, so do it.
We appreciate you too.
Yeah, absolutely, we do. Man, let's let them go, Tiff. They're hungry. They're starving. They're working hard. You got any more?
No, as much as work as they're doing, they might as well go to an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yeah, hell, right. Well, they're gonna get the barbecue, right? So yeah, all right, guys, support Toll and Roll, right? Tollandroll.com. That's what you guys got to do. Go out there, support all these people. They're the ones that are making it happen. They're in DC. They're doing it. So make sure you guys call your congresspeople, call everybody. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. Tollandroll.com. Make sure that you guys get a hold of them. Call your congresspeople and tell them to answer the fucking phones.
We won't stand
Thanks, guys.
for corruption.
Thank you very much. Have a great
You
rest
too.
of the night.
We won't stand for stealing kids. This is the Tiff and the Punisher podcast. Now joined by the angry citizen. This is a powerful trio. Set out to spread the Constitution. This is a powerful trio. Set out to stop the evil CPS. We won't stand for corruption, and we won't stand for stealing kids. This is the Tiff and the Punisher podcast.